All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the National Weather Service in Des Moines with a little update on the winter storm that's currently moving through Iowa this afternoon. So some of the key messages for this storm: we got a winter storm warning for most of the area, most of central Iowa and southern Iowa, and then there are portions of northern Iowa where those kind of lower snowfall rates are, where they're in a winter weather advisory. We're expecting highest snowfall accumulations to largely be over the southern portions of the state and then into eastern Iowa. We'll take a look at those here a little bit later. Heavy snowfall is likely, greater than 6 inches over much of central Iowa, but those chances of even higher accumulations of kind of over a foot are in the southern and southeastern portions of the state. We're expecting hazardous travel at times with significant impacts to the travel overnight tonight and into tomorrow, especially during the Tuesday morning commute. That's when we're expecting the peak impacts of travel, but there will be impacts throughout the day due to gusty winds coming in on the backside of the system. Kind of the main change from the messaging that we've had for the last couple of days, there's been a subtle southeastward shift. The main trend had been kind of going northwest, and there's been kind of leveled out back to southeast just a little bit in the heaviest snowfall. But for the most part, where those heaviest snowfall amounts are expected are still where we've been forecasting them. So looking ahead to the current conditions, it's currently 3:47 p.m. So these are obviously going to be dated here if you're watching this a little bit later, but we'll get to some more future stuff in the next couple slides. So hold on for that. We can see that the snow is starting to spread across the southern portions of the state into central Iowa, and we're expecting those to kind of keep moving northeast through the state and through the afternoon hours and into the evening. You'll notice it kind of looks very blocky, spotchy on the radar. We're kind of expecting this to be a very pulsy areas where there's heavier bursts of snow and then kind of those lighter bursts or lighter lulls as it progresses through. So don't expect heavy snow constantly, but there's going to be periods of heavier snow, periods of lighter snow throughout the night. Taking a quick look at the road conditions, we'll turn the legend on here. As I mentioned, this is road conditions as of 3:47 p.m. So these are subject to change if you're watching this a little bit later. But as of right now, we can see those areas where the snow has been falling the longest, kind of down in southwest Iowa, northwest Iowa, and the western portions of the state, where you're getting completely covered roads and partially covered roads. And we're starting to see those partially covered roads kind of south of Des Moines Metro. So definitely something to look out for. Conditions are deteriorating quickly. So looking ahead to our kind of a simulated precipitation through the next couple of hours through the progression of the system. Snow is going to initially start out fairly light, but as we step through the evening, we'll see that the heavier reflectivities or heavier rain or snowfall rates kind of increase through the afternoon hours and into the evening. At 9 p.m., it's kind of overtaken most of the state with those heavier precip amounts here in the central and southern portions of Iowa. And as we step a little bit further forward, we can see that somewhere around 4 a.m., we're going to get this burst of heavier snowfall rates moving through southeast Iowa. That's going to be bringing kind of those higher totals that we'll see here on the next slide, kind of stepping through that way. And then as we get into the morning hours, kind of around our commute time, the heaviest snow is going to be tapering off, but obviously the roads are still going to be likely covered, and plows are going to be out there working to get them cleared off. So definitely going to still be hazardous conditions as you wake up in the morning and get ready to head to work. But that snow is going to be slowly tapering off. It'll be more intermittent and through the morning hours, and then it'll start tapering off into the afternoon with most of the snow out of the area by about 6 p.m. Looking ahead to our snow totals, this is kind of what we expect through the whole event. As I mentioned earlier, there's a southeastward shift in where those higher totals are, but for the most part, the peak totals are going to be in southeast Iowa, where that 8 to 10, 10 to 12 inches of snow is expected, kind of over southern southeast Iowa. And then those higher values where you see the 14, 16 inches, those are kind of going to be more localized areas, but that's what those values represent. The best chances for seeing those really high amounts are over these portions of the area. The biggest change is you can see near Fort Dodge, Ames area, we're kind of starting to see that gradient move a little southeast and kind of lower snow totals up there. That's kind of just been the trend here through the day. So those snow totals, that's what we're expecting for those areas. Finally, we're going to take a look at the winds. As I mentioned, there's going to be some strong winds coming in on the backside of the system. Those will start to come in through tomorrow morning while snow is still ongoing. So be on the lookout for lower visibilities, blowing snow as this starts to move in. Winds start to pick up tomorrow morning. Snow will start to taper off in the afternoon, as we mentioned, but the wind's still going to continue. So expect drifting snow, snow on roads causing slick conditions, maybe some very localized visibility reductions even after the falling snow has stopped. And then the winds should taper off Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So as I mentioned, heavy snowfall is likely across much of the state, with highest probabilities being over the southern, southeastern portions of Iowa. That's the areas that most likely see over a foot of snow into Tuesday. And then strong winds coming in on the backside of the system will cause blowing snow and drifting snow Tuesday into the Tuesday afternoon. For traveler information, if you need to check road conditions, check out 511iowa.org. And then there's also surrounding states, areas, or websites listed here if you're traveling out of the state. And then check out our social medias and our website to find more information that's updated all the time.